Hello, welcome. My name is Saitrika. Airplanes are one of the world's greatest creations. These flying beasts can take you up so high in the air it feels like you are in space. How did these amazing creations come to be? The history of aviation all started when Wilbur and Orville Wright created the Wright Flyer. It was a magnificent airplane progressing aviation to the clouds. There is no sport equal to that which aviators enjoy while being carried through the air on great white wings, they once said. One of the most momentous events in aviation history was the Boeing 707. This plane was an amazing piece of technology. It had been one of the best planes in the world at that time. Who would have known that the Boeing 707 was one of the major steps to how aviation became this technological? Racking up 1,010 orders, this was a noticeable expensive list price at the time. Following, Boeing went on to create more airplanes. Two important airliners were the 737 and A320. The 737 was a small airplane that could carry about 100 passengers. The A320 family was made to compete with that 737 because a new company, Airbus, had been founded. The Boeing 737-800 and the A320 were the most successful and safest planes in the world. The 737 took its first flight on April 1967 and entered service in 1968. The A320 was made in February 1987 and first entered service in 1988. Both planes are the best. One of the most beautiful planes were the 747 and A380. The 747, more known as the Queen of the Skies, first took its first flight on February 9, 1969, and entered service on January 22, 1970. It was the biggest passenger jet until the A380. The A380 took its first flight on April 27, 2005. It then entered service on the 25th of October 2007. An updated version of the 747-8. It took flight on February 8, 2010. It entered service in June 2012. Today, these planes are considered legends. They have helped pave the way for planes such as the Boeing 787 and the A350. The 777 was suggested by airlines as it was one of the best and fuel-efficient planes today. The A350, mostly following the 780's technology advancements, is also one of the best airplanes today. Now, another variant of the 777 is the 777X. This plane will take home the title of the most fuel-efficient plane ever. With the most powerful engine, the GE9X, it will be a replacement for the 747. Airplanes have come a long way. Since the Wright Flyer, amazing airplanes have been built that have taken us so high we can't see anything. The history of aviation is one of the most important things in the world. It helps businesses and airlines help take people and cargo such as COVID-19 vaccines. Therefore, the history of aviation is very important. Thank you.
Bak bak bak! Do you know the chicken dance by Werner Thomas? Well, there's a holiday that is related to this fun way of moving your body. The Dance Like a Chicken Day is on May 14th. This day is celebrated to relive the memories of the chicken dance. The song, written in 1950s by Werner Thomas, makes you want to dance like a chicken. Some things you can do on this day is have a chicken dance off or see it as the best impression of a chicken. If you have chickens, you can have a race where you choose your chicken, put food or something they like at the end of the race, and see which chicken will get there and which one will get there the fastest. To cheer on the chickens, you can do the chicken dance. To do the chicken dance, first open and close your hands like this. Then flap your wings 4 times. Then shake your hips with the music 4 times. Then, lastly, clap 4 times. The music will get faster and faster, so you have to try to keep up. If you don't remember how many times to repeat the moves, think to yourself, the magic number is 4. Remember, this is a silly dance, so feel free to change the dance up a bit. The German band was playing the Duck Song in Oktoberfest in Tulsa, Oklahoma around 1950. The problem was that Werner Thomas and his band could not find a duck suit for a song, but they found a chicken suit, and that is how the chicken dance was born and now a tradition. Thanks for listening to this Brookvale Media production. Bye! See you next time!
Hello, welcome to the Brookvale Media Project. I'm your host, Manas. Today we will be making the most delicious and easy mug cake. You may ask, what is a mug cake? A mug cake is a very spongy, hot, and just overall delicious cake. The twist is that it's in a mug. A warm, hearty snack for frigid winter days. This is a simple recipe where you need little to no parent guidance at all, and you're free to experiment with any ingredient you want. This cake takes 7 minutes to make, so be sure you have enough time in your day to make it. For this recipe, I'll be making one with chocolate in it. This recipe requires 1/4 cup all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup white sugar. A substitute can be 1 1/2 tablespoons unsweetened applesauce, 2 tablespoons unsweetened cocoa powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon baking soda, 1/8 of a teaspoon salt, 3 tablespoons milk, 2 tablespoons canola oil, 1 tablespoon water, 1/4 teaspoon vanilla extract. First, get all the dry ingredients. This includes all-purpose flour, white sugar, cocoa powder, baking soda, and the salt. Then add all the wet ingredients, which include milk, canola oil, water, and vanilla extract. Mix well and try to get rid of all of the bubbles and make it exceptionally smooth. Then put it in the microwave for 1 minute and 45 seconds. When it's done, enjoy it hot and fresh. Maybe put some ice cream or fudge on it. This tasty dessert by itself can have near to 600 calories, which is 25% of your daily value. It also has 30 grams of fat, which is about 35% of your daily value. It also has 82 grams of carbs, which is 36% of your daily value. It surprisingly has 7 grams of protein, which is 12.5% of your daily value. So make sure to save some space for this very scrumptious dessert. I hope you all in the Fremont community and the entire world will enjoy and share this recipe with your family and friends. And we will all see you in the next video.
Hello, my name is Sophia. Earl Grey cookies are delicious tea-flavored chewy sugar cookies that are coated in a layer of sugar and are perfectly crisp and chewy. This recipe has butter and eggs, and some ingredients may cause an allergic reaction to those that are allergic to any of the ingredients. The ingredients are 1 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 14 tablespoons or 200 grams of unsalted butter, 1 tablespoon finely ground Earl Grey tea leaves, which is from about 3 tea bags, 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, 3/4 teaspoon kosher salt. An optional step is 1/2 teaspoon of orange zest, 1 large egg, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon baking powder. The first step is to preheat the oven to 350 degrees and line 2 half sheet pans of parchment paper. Put 1/2 cup granulated sugar into a small bowl or a shallow dish and set aside. The next step is to combine the butter and tea leaves in a small saucepan set over medium heat. Melt the butter until it begins to sizzle around the edges. Remove from heat and let cool for 5 minutes. The third step is to add the tea butter into a large bowl. Then add brown sugar, salt, orange zest, and remaining 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. Use an electric mixer on medium speed or whisk to combine for about 30 seconds. The mixture will be grainy and separated. Add the egg and vanilla, then mix until smooth, which is for about 30 seconds. The fourth step is to add the flour, baking powder, and baking soda to the bowl, and mix on low speed or with the rubber spatula until just combined. Use the spatula to scrape the sides and bottom of the bowl to ensure the dough is evenly mixed. The fifth step is to measure each ball into 2 tablespoons with the measuring spoon. Roll each dough ball in the reserved granulated sugar, then place on the baking sheet 2 inches apart. Bake the cookies until set, light golden around and crackled on top, for about 16 to 19 minutes. Remove the cookies from the oven and let cool on the baking sheets. You can store these cookies in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days or for a few weeks in the freezer. This recipe makes 20 cookies. Thank you, and please join us next time.
Hi, I'm AJ, and solar power is a form of clean, renewable energy sources like nuclear or hydroelectric. There are many renewable sources, but solar power is one of the ones that can only work one half of the day, the morning. The reason is because solar power, or the solar panels, cannot harness the energy of the sun to create electricity. In 1839, at the age of 19, Frenchman Alexandre Edmond Becquerel creates the world's first photovoltaic cell. Then, 44 years later, in 1883, inventor Charles Fritz develops the first solar cell, and the next year the first solar panel. But it would take 70 more years for it to be efficient. There are 2 types of solar power generating methods. One of them are concentrating solar thermal power, CSP, systems. They use mirrors to reflect and concentrate sunlight onto receivers that collect solar energy and convert it into heat, which can then be used to produce electricity or stored for later use. It is used primarily in large power plants. CSP systems can store the energy in batteries and thermal storage, storing heat in a medium like molten salt or oil. It operates at a lower cost than comparable lithium battery options. The pros of this is that it is more efficient than PV and can power more homes. The issue with this is that it takes up a large place and you cannot install it for yourself. Another huge problem is that it is expensive, one of the most expensive ways of generating clean energy. The after benefit of this cost is that it can power 70,000 homes. The other method uses solar panels. The way it works is that when the sun hits the solar panels, a process happens. If the panels are photovoltaic PV panels, then when the sun shines onto a solar panel, energy from the sunlight is absorbed by the PV cells in the panel. This energy creates electrical charges that move in response to an internal electrical field in the cell, causing electricity to flow. To put into simpler terms, the sun rays hit the panels, cells absorb the rays, and that makes electric charges which causes energy to flow in the wires to batteries, but cannot be put into thermal storage. The pros are that it is low in maintenance because all you must do is set it up and you are good to go. Another wonderful thing is that the costs of owning these will reduce within the next few years, so you can reduce your electricity costs while helping the environment. There is also a darker side. It is a less reliable power source because it only works in a day. There are some additional costs for a battery to store the electricity in, and since it is fragile, you might have to pay for a warranty. Solar power can power many homes, but can be very expensive. We should all thank Charles Fritz for creating this revolutionary method of generating electricity, because solar energy itself accounts for over 22 million homes powered. Join us next time and have a solar day!
Mother's Day is a holiday dedicated to, as the name suggests, mothers. It is a time of appreciating, respecting, and recognizing your moms. Although you should be doing that every day, regardless of the holiday. Hello, my name is Sachi, and I have come to talk about Mother's Day. The first Mother's Day started on May 14th, 1914. Anna Jarvis created Mother's Day after the death of her mother, Anne Reeves Jarvis. She wanted to honor and celebrate everything her mother did for her, and the day was a success, even though she later tried to demolish it in her life. Now it is time for fun facts on Mother's Day. Did you know on Mother's Day, more phone calls occur than any day of the year? It's crazy, but it also makes sense when you look at how many people live far away from their parents or are on a trip. The most popular Mother's Day gift is a greeting card, especially if it is handwritten. Cards are a way to spread a message, and handwritten cards show that you care about your mom, and you want to take the time to make her something. Most dads and husbands take mothers on to an expensive spa to give them a boost for them to have an amazing Mother's Day. To be honest, most moms do need a relaxation day, so a spa is perfect. Can you believe that some mothers actually hate Mother's Day? A day dedicated to them, but they hate it. But this is because they do not want people to spend money. Nevertheless, let us move on to things to do for your mom on Mother's Day. This might be a little bit biased, but I am sure that most of you can agree that these are the best things to do for or with your mom. One of the things people can do for the Mother's Day is book a private yoga session, or maybe do yoga with them. Another thing people do for their moms is make or buy her a meal to give her a break. In conclusion, Mother's Day is just like Valentine's Day, where you share love, but to especially a mother figure. Mothers are grateful to have a day like Mother's Day because they get love and kindness from their children. More than 50 countries celebrate this holiday, but still, not everyone celebrates it. Many mothers take this day off to spend time to relax and on this special day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!